This conference will now be recorded.
Thank you, Shravani. So, guys, let's wait maybe 2 more minutes. I see 27 people have already joined. Let's give others also some time. All right. I think we can get started and then rest of the people can join. Because I have a lot to cover today and I'll try my best to cover it in 1 hour. So, again, welcome all. This is Ankit, your instructor for this course. And just call me Ankit, no sir or anything like that. This is perfectly fine with me. And today I'm here to again welcome you and show you something that you would be learning in the next coming 2 to 3 months if you decide to join the Python training batch. So I'll talk about Python and I'll also give you a small demo about like a website kind of a thing that you would be actually doing as a part of a project at the end of the course. So I'll tell you all these details, but before I go ahead, let me give you a very brief introduction about myself. Again, like I said, my name is Ankit or Ankit. I'm based out of US in the East Coast around the Boston area, and my experience is 18 plus years. I've been in the software industry, and I have done almost everything, coding, testing, almost. Now I'm actually trying to do some piece of DevOps as well, but I'm mostly on the architecture side. So my designation is senior architect. And I work with Oracle, and we do a lot of things. And the main thing is I've done designing as well, which is something that is very different than any of this. So that gives me the edge, or in the sense that gives me the understanding of the whole end-to-end networks or how big companies work. So that is in a nutshell. I started with C and C++. Back in the day, it was really important, and I have good amount of experience in that. Actually, I started with BASIC when I was in school. I think I'm not sure even if most of you would remember that there used to be a language called BASIC in Pascal. But anyways, so C, C++ was my forte for a long time, and then I decided life is getting boring, so let's learn something new. So I went into Python. So I've been working with Python for quite a while now. Coming to these trainings, I have been doing this with Mithun Tech for a while. Excuse me. And I think this is my ninth or tenth batch. And even before that, I was doing this. And I also do some other uh, classes as well. So the way the course is structured is, let me first tell you that it is going to be a very detailed course, guys. This is not a quick thing, or it's not a short version of anything. For the simple reason, because Python is so important. It's there. Rajesh is saying voice is a little bit slow. Is it for everybody or just for Rajesh? Anybody else can confirm that it's low?
It is fine, Ankit.
It's fine. Okay, thank you. So maybe it's something with on your side, Rajesh. All right. So like I was saying, this is a very detailed course, guys. Thank you, Venkat. Thank you for confirming on the chat. So this is an extremely detailed course and it goes from the very first basics. So if you don't know Python, that's fine. If you don't know programming, even that is fine. This is the best chance to learn programming, actual programming from the basics. It's like a zero to a hero course kind of a thing. But I don't skip anything and I go as per the student space. Also, I am very, very interactive. I want everybody to interact with me. It's not like you wait for the end of the class and then ask your questions. If you don't ask the questions, I ask you guys questions. And I think I forgot to tell one more thing. I've been interviewing for my company for a long time. So I have good understanding there. So I also keep telling interview questions. And the way I design my class is that in the beginning, we learn about a topic from the basic. And by the end, we're done. I'll tell you maybe like 4 or 5 interview questions that can happen on that topic. And of course, like I said, it is going to cover everything for the Python. So Python in itself is huge, guys. I'm sure you guys are here, you know what is Python and all. And it's everywhere, right? It's not like it is just in development or it's even there in DevOps for scripting and stuff. It is even there in data science. It's like the basic building block of data science. And everybody knows data science is huge this time. And I'm not sure if you guys also know it. It is in other places as well. So I'll tell you one very simple example. I'm pretty sure all of you guys have used Instagram, right? But I don't know if you guys are aware that Instagram was built on Django, which is a Python framework, and that is actually our demo as well, and that is our that is going to be a project as well at the end of it. So Django is a complete framework. It's a huge framework, guys. Here it is. We'll be doing the whole Django framework. I'll tell you each and everything within Django. So how does the MVT model work, right? What is the architecture within MVT? And this is not just with Django, so I'll give you a lot of general concepts also. So tomorrow, if it is something else, you should not be worried that, hey, I just know Django. You should understand Python. You should understand the most important thing in Python, which is the advanced concept, which is OOPS. Again, it's not the expression, but it's object-oriented programming. This looks very simple, but all of it takes at least a week or sometimes 4 days, 3 days. This is the most advanced concept in general, not just for Python, because every language today has OOPS, and you have to understand all these concepts pretty well in order to understand any module or any package that you're going to use tomorrow. Once you understand that, then it's very simple. And the point is to understand this, you have to understand all of this. Otherwise, you don't understand object-oriented programming. I thoroughly believe if your basics are very good, these are the basics, right? Then you can do anything in any programming language, and in fact, not just language, anywhere. So I spend a good amount of time in on the basics part because that's what I feel most people rush up and they think, oh, they understood the concept. Okay, that's fine. Let's move on. Let's move on. But that's the problem. If you don't understand the concept very well, guys, can I request you to go on mute if you're not talking? If you're not asking a question, rather. Okay, thank you. So, like I was saying, these are very important, and if you understand them well, then the complex or any complexity you can deal with very easily, not just object-oriented programming. And today, you pick up any module, any package, you can do, like I was saying, excuse me, a lot more things with Python, not just web development. You can do web scraping. Again, I'm not sure if any of you is aware, but there is so much use of Python, for example, in text to speech. So I'm sure you guys are aware of Siri and Hey Google and Alexa, right? So all that in means you can actually make yourself at your home using your laptop by understanding Python. So this course is not aiming at any particular package other than Django, because Django is the most complicated package or the framework rather that can be used with Python. So I thoroughly believe if I explain you one of the most complicated ones, then you can understand the less complicated ones yourself. And there are many others which are very smaller to Django, like Flask and Web2Py and so many things. These are very simple to understand once you understand one of the complex systems, right? So I hope you guys are finding some interest so far. So I'll tell you some more details and then I'll quickly show you the. So Shravani is pinging on the chat. So if you guys have any doubts and any confusions, please you can reach out to her as well and she can let me know. And I'll be taking a lot of questions today also. Like you can unmute and ask your questions, but not right away. But I'll give you a time and then we can do the Q&A. So like I said, Python is in so many places. So some of you might be from DevOps background, right? So DevOps, the most important or the most common thing that you would use Python in, for example, you're working with AWS, right? So AWS has an EC2 instance. Now the most uh, repeated job that you will be doing everything. So the reason I use the word repeated is because that is the key. If you see anything that you're doing again and again, you can simply use or create a script in Python very simply. And I'll show you a demo for that as well, because you can use Python in your day-to-day life. And one of my earlier students, I also do a lot of trading and stuff, and he does that too. So he has developed a good script, which he in Python, of course, which he will just log in and see how is the market overall going, and he is even using it for the charting and stuff. So if you guys are if anybody's from trading background, they can understand stocks basically, but not everybody likes it. So like I was saying, for DevOps guys, so the repeated task is logging into an EC2 instance, right? Almost every other time. So you can very simply automate that. There is a package for it in Python, which is called Paramiko or even SSH2. So if you want to do web scraping, then you can use web browser package. There are zillions of packages, guys. Nobody can talk about all the packages. And you can Google it and you can learn it by yourself. But will you understand the code? Absolutely not. Why? The simple reason is because you haven't understood this correctly. Where is it? If you understand this in detail, you can understand any package. I guarantee you. You don't need any new trainer for teaching you data science or so again, I've used the word data science. So data science has NumPy, SciPy, so many modules. So at least the packaging part, you don't have to worry, but you can yourself do that extra bit of learning and then you can automatically get it. So it's more like this whole course is going to give you step one and step two and step two and a half. The only thing that's left is the rest half, whichever way you want to go. Whether you want to go DevOps way, then go and learn the Paramiko or SSH2 packages. If you want to go the web scraping way, learn web browser package, right? Something like that. If you want to go the Siri and Hey Google way, then learn the TTS, which is text to speech package. So, and if you want to do what we are going to do, like web development, then learn, anyways, you will be learning Django, which is the, so I was saying, okay, Google, and my Google just started talking in the background. So all these things and even more. See, it's left to your imagination what all you can do. Who knows, tomorrow you can make a great app. But for everything, what you need is at the minimum this. And to learn this, you need all of this, guys. That's what my point is. And I spend a very good time on everything. So the course is structured in this way that we'll be doing at least 30, 35, sometimes even 40 classes. And it is not hours classes because um, why I say that is because every batch is different and I go by the pace of the batch. So you guys decide the batch, I don't decide the batch. So if I see if you are understanding well, we go a little bit faster. And the reason I said classes, not hours, is because even though we'll do like 1 hour a day, but I generally end up doing a 1.5 hour class or at least 1 hour, 20 minutes. So that's why I'm saying 30 to 40 classes. So it can be done in about 2 to 2.5 months. And that should tell you it's a very detailed course. It's not like a 1 month crash course or something like that. I can do that, but then again, you're going to, after 3 months or 4 months, you're going to say, hey, Ankit, you didn't teach us well. So I don't like that. Teaching is one of my other passions or my hobbies. So real quick, I'll show you some of the uh, feedback that I received from my other batch students. So this is in Google Form, so I can't make it up. I'll show you the names as well. Those are all real. I can't even change those. So I'll take a quick second and show you this. So if you look at it, I really spend a lot of time on the pace. So most of them are saying 70%. Nobody's saying I was fast. There's no yellow. So everybody's saying, somebody said slow but helped, which is also good. And I think this was somebody who would have entered himself because I just give 4 options. And if you look at the contents, it's pretty, everybody is liking it. And somebody even went and wrote an option saying covered every bit. I didn't give this option. So this is how my students from my last batch feel about me. This is, I think, only from the last batch. But let's quickly see more. How do you rate the interactive experience? Like I said, I interact a lot with students because I thoroughly feel if you're talking, you not only are in the session with me, but you're also going to improve your talking skills also, which is also a plus because if you want to be in the industry, if you want to grow in the ladder. So I always tell this even while teaching, think about joining a company like Amazon or Google or Oracle or some big company. Because then if you prepare for those, then the easier ones become even a lot easier. Even my interview questions, I will be telling you all at those levels. So that is why I interact a lot. So if you can look, these three are actually, and I'll show you in a minute also that what that they were provided by people. I didn't give these as options. I gave these as options. Nobody said could be improved. Almost everybody said it's excellent. So that's why I purposely spend a lot of time on this. And then about the course, as you can say, everybody is feeling comfortable after doing the course. Somebody is even great, and somebody said very comfortable and felt confident using Python. Again, this was written by the student, not me. Then how do you rate your overall experience with me? So that is, we can say 90% excellent. One guy said, okay. So let me quickly show you the individual responses as well. See, I cannot change those if you think that this is a fake thing. So Bindu was in one of the earlier batches. And so this is what I was saying. The other is what they would write. I can't change that. So let's quickly scroll through them. Okay, so I really like, so this guy's name is Harsha. He's actually very good. And he was one of my favorite guys in the batch. So he's saying he's just awesome. That's what he's saying. He covered every bit. 10 on 10 and stuff like that. So I guess you get the idea. I'm not going to go in of every detail. Oh, sorry. So summary. So that's pretty much on my feedback. Let's go ahead now. And I think I've spoken a lot about it. So before I start the demo, I want to talk a little bit today about Python. Why I want to do that is so that you understand that whether you are a fresher or you have some experience even in any other language, this course can be easily done by anybody. Even I tell you, and I guarantee this, even if you have any experience in Python itself and you think you know everything, but there would still be a lot that you will learn. So just give me a quick second break, guys. Okay, so I'm gonna talk a little bit about Python and then we'll go directly into the demo. So like I was saying earlier, let me give you one demo right away so that you guys don't get bored. So by the way, this is not my car, but I love cars. That's my hobby, cars, supercars and motorbikes. I do have a couple of motorcycles, which are like sports bikes and stuff. But anyways, that's my hobby. So for example, one thing that I do every morning is I ask Google, hey, what is the weather today, right? So then if I'm working, I don't know. So I just come here, double click this simple thing, and sorry, I think it's going to Firefox. Here it is in my screen. Let me bring it here. See, this is where I live, so it automatically tells me, it automatically comes to this website. I didn't do anything, it just opened up and it tells me what is the weather. This is the most common thing that every person in US does, and I'm sure even in India you guys do it these days, so that you know how it is, right? So this is how you can easily automate your stuff that you want to do. Now this is a little bit more detailed. So I do, like I was telling you guys initially, I do some stocks and tradings that helps my thing. So what I do is I created this small script. This is one of the, and I'll show you the code also in a second. This is one of the packages that is used in web scraping a lot. And what I'm doing is I'm actually instead of waiting and opening every website that I need, because in trading or whoever knows, they know that timing is very important, news is very important, right? And there's so many things you have to understand, charts and all, and that's what I'm actually working on these days. If we have time at the end, I'll probably show you that as well. So if I just double click on this, and that's it, now I am uh, sitting back, I'm not doing anything. And if it shows up, okay, yeah, it's opening up in that form here itself. So see, all of these are automatically opening for me. These are all that I need. And I can always go back and tailor make this script again for me so that I can change and see how whatever new things I want to add. See, these are all the NYSE stock market trading halls every day. It automatically picks up the current data, not the old data. So let me show you one more example. The other ones you would not make much sense. So see, it's already telling me the news. I don't have to worry about all this. Now, my next step is to actually start, and that is what is called web scraping, to start looking at the major headlines. So I'll have to do a bit of more programming into the same script, and that will tell me what is a major headline. Then I don't even have to come and look into this page, right? So let me just quickly show you the script. This can be done. This is in Chrome. This can be done in Firefox, or this can be done. So the other one is actually a Firefox. Let me quickly show you the code real quick. So my point here is, guys, that I can uh, I would anybody, once you understand, you can simply automate your stuff. That is one very good way to start understanding and practicing the concept. So what is this tool? I'll tell you in the first class, but just look for it. Such a simple code. That's it. You're done. This is all the this is nothing but a list that I'm keeping here. Tomorrow I can go here and I can say just simply add the URL that I want to add or delete something that I want to do, and the same program will work perfectly. So this was the package I was talking about, web browser. So you will understand all these packages yourself when you understand Python very well. OS is a module that we will be talking in it's there in our content. Sys is a module, another very important module that we'll be talking. These are very important in DevOps as well. So right now you may not understand what this code is doing, right? What is this? Is this a function or is this a method, and what it does? How is this loop working and everything? So that is my goal, that you should understand every bit of it, and by the time we are done, you should yourself be an expert in all of these things so that you don't have to say or ask me anything. Okay, I can take a quick question if somebody has, otherwise I'll move on. There's there's something on the chat as well. So for fee and everything, already Mithun Technologies has responded. So guys, everything is run by Mithun Technologies, and you can talk to them for the all other queries that you have other than Python. Anything related to Python, you can ask me. And they will be doing every day, what do you call it? The go-to-meeting links. So they design it, and they always, and once we get going, there will be a WhatsApp group where they'll add all of us, and you will get all the updates there. I think the recordings and everything. So any stock picks one, nice one, Pete. I mean, I can give you, but I'm not a financial advisor. So, and I'm still learning charts and stuff, but good one, Pete. Then is saying, I think I missed it. May I know how many years of experience you have in Python? So in Python, or I don't know if you want. So let me tell you this. I have total 18 years experience, a little over 18. And I'm right now a senior architect in Oracle. And again, I think this is recorded, so you can get the recording later if you missed the initial part. And that's okay. Of curiosity, I like the people who are curious then, and then I was telling in the beginning, I want people to ask questions as much as possible when we are doing actual sessions. Today is just a demo. So, I super interact with my kids, sorry, not kids, with my students, and I definitely want people to be interacting with me. And in Python, I would say about 6, 7 years, maybe. I don't even remember. It's been long that I've working in Python. 9 years experience in sysadmin. So again, Rajesh, like I was saying a little earlier, Anybody can do this course. You don't have to be even working, even if you're a fresher. If you're a system admin, absolutely you can. So I'm guessing you work a lot with shell scripts right now. So I'm answering Rajesh's question right now. He asked, I have 9 years experience in system admin. Can I do this course? Absolutely. Actually, this will help system admins and any test professional, any DevOps guys, all of you guys, because you will understand how Python works. Then you can use, like I said, you just need to find the package. Just Google and see a package for that. If you want to even SSH into EC2 instance, you will say sorry, I got distracted with another question. You will say, how to log in into EC2 instance, you'll get the package called Paramiko. It's a simple package. Once you understand object-oriented programming, you will yourself be able to write the code. And I'll show you during the training that you have to understand how new packages work, how you're we're going to talk about modules, everything from the module. It's a big, I think it's a separate, yeah, see, here it is. So this is a separate title or separate content. It's not merged with anything. Like I said in the beginning, whoever missed the beginning part, this is a very detailed course, guys. This is not a crash course. I cannot help. I don't even understand how people do that. And I've gone through some when I was learning in my days. I've gone through some Udemy, YouTube videos. People are just skipping the main thing. So I'll tell you, since somebody asked it, so I'll tell you one very simple thing. And this is, I'm pretty sure there are people who know what is Python also to some level. Somebody may say, I know the basics. Somebody may say, I know even advanced. So I ask all of you guys, I'm pretty sure you guys know what are list, tuple, dictionary, and all. But can anybody tell me, you can unmute for this one and tell me, what is this in Python? Sorry, let me remove the italics. Yeah. So what is this in Python? Can anybody tell me whoever knows Python? And I can tell you this is a very basic thing. I'll teach you on the first or second day.
I think it is a tuple.
But in tuple, what is this? That is what I want to understand. But good, at least somebody said it's a tuple. It says a tuple. So this is a tuple with one element. Most people think it is of nothing, it is of no importance. I'll tell you 12 interview questions around this. This goes all the way till object-oriented programming, guys, all the way. So I think 3 days ago, my last batch that I did with Mithun, we were doing the same Django project, and this came back again. So my students know this just the moment they look at it and they are like, oh, this is the tuple with one element, right? So things like this, and there are so many things like this, not just one. I can go on and go on. This is what makes you a good programmer so that you understand every bit of it. Anyways, I was asking Rajesh's question and I digressed a bit. So absolutely for sysadmin or any admin related stuff, whenever you do a lot of shell scripting, so shell scripting is very limited, guys. It is good, but it cannot go beyond. You cannot scale on it, for example, right? So now what you can do is you can actually do it with two ways. You can write a wrapper from Python to use your same shell script, or you can create the same shell script in Python, which will be a lot easier, a lot heavier in the sense you can do a lot more stuff with it. So that is the beauty of Python, guys. Next question is Arvind is asking, we are from DevOps field and Django is user framework. I think Django is only for developers. To some extent, you're right, Arvind. I agree with you that it's basically used in web development. So I think that is the reason we got this feedback earlier also, and that's why Mithun is doing this in two fashion. And again, you'll have to contact the Mithun Technologies team. If you don't want to choose web development package, let's say you're from DevOps background, you can skip this. And obviously, there's a different fee. It's a lesser fee compared to anybody who wants to do Django. But having said that, I highly recommend this. Why? Because if you understand one package or one framework rather, it's a big framework, guys. It's a huge framework. It takes almost 2.5 weeks to finish this. And I'll show you this in the demo also. Then you can go and do any framework easily. Like I was just saying in the beginning, if you're DevOps guys, you can understand Paramiko so easily. You can understand SSH2 package so easily. So in order to understand packages, this will really help you. But anyways, you will understand packages here also. So it's not really mandatory. You can completely skip this. You can stop at advanced concepts too. So I think this is included. Yeah. So there's two way. I think one is core Python, and I think they call it, the other one is advanced Python. But anyways, reach out to them and tell them whether you want Django or you don't want Django. With Django, it's a different fee. Without Django, it's a different fee. I personally, and I'll show you the demo also, I personally think Django adds a lot of value. All right, Python is important in DevOps, Kiran. So that's an excellent question. I always get asked this question. I'll just answer that question in a second. Is it full stack Python training? Absolutely. If you do Django as well, the only thing probably that's left after. So I hope everybody understands what full stack is. If not, I'll give you a very simple example. So if you're developing a website, you need a lot of things, not just Python, right? You need databases, and I'll show you a database today also. And you need wrappers, you need Node.js, React.js. So we can't cover everything in one course, right? It becomes too hodgepodge. But if you learn Django, so technically they say Django is a backend tool, but actually it can work as a front end tool as well, and that's what I'm going to show you in the demo also. So technically, yes. What is the other question? Shell scripting language is enough for DevOps master? No, 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 Kiran. So I'll tell you one thing. In shell scripting is very, very limited. You can't do a lot of things in shell scripting. If it was good, so with DevOps, there's a new field that is coming up. I think most of you would be aware, which is called MLOps. So that has like, if you just search for the salaries, they have so good salaries. That's the reason even I'm trying to now learn DevOps and I'm trying to see if I can get there, but not really that pursuing it that seriously. But if you look at all these things, you will not be able to do half of the job that the modern day DevOps guys do in shell scripting. You need to know Python. You need to know object-oriented programming concepts in Python so that you can write those scripts. So absolutely, you definitely need it. Difference between Python and scripting. As a support person, we need programming or scripting. This Python with Django course will help us learn programming or scripting. Bharat's question is excellent. Bharat, sorry, not Bharat. Bharat Coin. So I also get this asked every time. So of course, this is not a scripting course. Scripting you can learn in maybe 10 days. So like I said in the beginning, guys, it's a step 1 and step 2 and step 2.5. Whatever questions you guys are asking, this is the step 1, step 2.5. This is that extra half that you need to get what you want to do. So if you want to do scripting is very much different than programming. Some people will say, but I don't say that. So if I show you, I don't know if I have that kind of a time, but if I show you that script, how to log in into EC2 instance, that script itself would look like a, what do you call it? A full object-oriented program. So you have to understand object-oriented programming if you want to use Python for scripting. Otherwise, you cannot do it, my friend. So definitely, that is the most important thing. So programming and scripting, obviously, they say is different, but you kind of need to understand programming only then you can do scripting. That is the thing. So we recently did in my company a project. I can't give you the details because it's my company thing, but what we did, we created a tool to
Hi Ankit, sorry to interrupt you. This is Vasant.
Mhm. Sure, go ahead.
Ankit, regarding this programming and scripting thing, only I have a query on this. So I'm working as a DevOps engineer for 3 years, Ankit. So I don't have any programming knowledge. So I would like to really learn Python. So in my project, one resource is using, you know, he's developing so much of automation scripts with Python.
Right.
Okay, so we are having AWS environment, and every work we do manually, he is automating it. And the team's expectation is also, everyone is not aware of Python here. So the team expectation is, we wanted, we wanted to know where is the input scripts and where it is being taken and all those kind of stuffs. But even I would like to contribute. I would like to contribute in the automation scripting, Ankit. So,
Absolutely.
yeah. So I would like to know, like from this course, how much I can get the automation kind of stuff. Okay.
Yep. So again, excellent question, and I'm very happy somebody went and unmuted and asked it. It takes a courage. So good job. Sorry, what's your name? Vasant,
Vasant.
right? So first of all, good job on that. An excellent question, guys. So that's what I was kind of explaining. So Vasant, I'm going to put you back on mute, or you can mute yourself. Thank you. It's only because then I hear a lot of background noise. So this is exactly the kind of question that I get, and this is exactly the kind of thing that I was trying to explain. You absolute that also answers the question for Kiran, what I'm going to answer. So you would need to understand the Python program. Whether you take the course or not, that's different. You need to understand Python programming in order to jump your game from shell scripting to automation. So if you're asking me, Ankit, will you be telling us how to do automation? No, but I will be telling you how to enable for that. So I'll give you a simple example. This is one piece of the. I'm not going to give you a lot of details, otherwise you'll get bored today. This is a very simple, not simple. This is a very small piece of code that you would use just to log in into the SSH. Sorry, EC2 instance. So look at it up right here, Boto 3. This is a module in itself. So most people will understand what is a module. But how do you get which particular function or method to use? That is something that I can tell you. Not for Boto 3, I'm saying the way object-oriented is designed. This is nothing but an object-oriented concept. 99% fail to understand that. Oh, they think it's a simple function, you're calling a function and that's it. You know why? Because these days we have Google. You do Google, you'll get this code very easily. But in your company, when you're working, you cannot do Google every time, and Google will tell you only such small things. It really helps. Don't get me wrong. Every developer loves Google. Today, 90% code is copy paste, believe me. But you need to understand how this code works. Only then you can graduate to automation level. Because somebody is okay. I'll come back to the chat later. Why? Because so that you understand how the framework works, then you can take it to the next level. You can use the script that saves you time, but you can modify it, or you can create a new script that will do what your company is asking you to do, or what your project lead is asking you to do. That is the main difference. But if your project lead is asking something and you are only giving him a Google code which is just SSHing into the EC2 instance, then he's not going to like it, right? Similarly, I was talking about the Paramiko. So this is some part I'm just showing. So again, this is some script that I have written myself. So this is what I was saying, Paramiko. This is a module. This is a very good module, guys. So you need to understand how modules work. So that's what I was saying. Even going through a framework like Django, even though you're not doing this thing, web development in your company, that doesn't matter. This will really help you because you'll understand how web develop or how framework works. Don't think of it as a web development. Think of it how framework works, how you can deal with the framework, how you can change it. I'll show you exact steps how to go to the documentation website and start interpreting that, right? How are we going to use it in our life? Again, you can get that code from Google, but you will not be able to change it until you know. So I'll give you another example just to explain what I just said. So let's go. So one more thing that I talk about is that I always talk about open source tools. Nothing in my, even the database, I'll show you it's completely free. I'm never going to ask you to download any paid software, and I'm always a thorough believer you should download software from the good websites, not any website. So Django, let's go to Django framework. Here, actually, it is right here, but I'll show you even how. That's how I show it in my classes also. So again, don't go by the first one because that will tell you, oh, this is all paid stuff. Udemy is there, but always go to something which is governmental or which is the actual project. So this is the actual project that they did for Django. This is their official website, is what I'm saying. Forget about download and stuff. Just go to documentation and I'll show you how to deal with it. Now, let's take a look. They all tell you from scratch, right? But we have to, and obviously you guys don't understand any of this right now, but I'll show you what I'm trying to do. So if I wanted to write a model, so I'll go to this one, right? Now you might be thinking, "Ankit, this is again for web development, but that's what I'm trying to explain. That let's say this is an example. You can get this example from Google also. You control C this, but this is not going to help. Why? Because actually, let me bring up my demo code also. This is from the other batch. Where is this guy? Okay, yeah, this is the one. So So I'm taking this example, guys. Don't worry about all this code you guys don't understand right now. There you go. So I started this class using the same code. I pasted it here, and now this is from that website or from Google. You can say I started writing my code against it. Obviously, we don't need person, we need product. We don't need these, but these are important to understand what these are. And there you go. We wrote the whole code automatically using this as a pointer. So you need to know how to even get there. That is the main thing, guys. Once you understand what, and that's what I was saying, you should go through this package and this framework so that you understand how do we write code, how do we deal with the code tomorrow if you're working on a new framework. Today you might be saying, Ankit, please teach me this framework, please teach me Boto 3, please teach me Paramiko because I am from DevOps. Then somebody will say, Ankit, teach me this. So we cannot teach every framework. Like there's zillions of framework, and that's why the course is designed for you to understand how they work. If you understand that, then it's just a matter of seconds, and that will give you the edge. And to finally answer the question that Vasant asked, that tomorrow, if you're dealing with your project lead and you're like 3, 4 people, and he says, "Hey, I want to use a new framework that has just come, for example, Web2Py," right? Then you are already there. You say, "Yes, I'm there. I'm ready to do it." Why? Because you know how frameworks work. All you have to do is just go through documentation and start coding. And by coding, I don't mean actual coding. I mean you can do automation, because scripting, automation, everything is coding, guys. It's nothing like different than programming. So like I was showing you this, so if you know how a framework works, you'll be very easily able to tell you, okay, in this line Paramiko is my framework, and this is one of the functions in it, and it is importing this key. So then you can start your SSH client. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. You care whether you're from DevOps background or from development background or a fresher. Don't think too much about it. Try to learn the concepts in Python itself. And don't forget, guys, Python is everywhere today, not just DevOps. I always get most of the question from DevOps because I understand most of the people are trying to get into DevOps. I'll tell you one example from my last batch. So this guy called me yesterday. His name is Vijay. I think he's given the feedback also. So he's also working in DevOps for a while, and I think he did the course from Mithun, I'm guessing. And he did my Python course, and he said, Ankit, I was so confident. I went to my lead and I asked him, can I start doing actual development now? By actual development, I mean more of automation. And his lead did a small interview, and he got that. So those kind of opportunities will open up for you, whether you are actually working as a DevOps or not. If you're actually working as a DevOps, then it even adds because you have some value. And let's say I had one more guy. His name is Satya. I always use his name. He's like by far my favorite of all these. Favorite by meaning favorite. He's very responsive. He was from completely different background. He has, I think, 14 or 15 years, a good amount of experience in another non-IT field. And he just got a job. He loves Python so much now. He used to do every assignment I give. He was there. I think, is the only guy who's never missed a class, never missed any class. Even in COVID, he was in Odisha in his hometown. The internet was bad, but he still managed somehow. So there are all kind of people, guys. You have to decide what you want to do. Python can be used to connect databases. They can be used to create web application, like I said. They can do text to speech. They can do web scraping. It's very heavily used in handling big data, performing complex mathematical problems, rapid prototyping, if you know what agile is, right? Production ready software, anything you say. It's endless, guys. Like I use it for trading, right? Somebody could use it for something else, like creating a software for a Siri and stuff like that in IoT. So that is the beauty of Python, guys. It's so vast. You can use it in anywhere you want. But in order to do that, you need to understand Python very well in detail. And again, I'm repeating, most importantly, where is my oops? This is not just 5 lines. I take at least 2 to 3 weeks on this, sometimes even more, because this is the crux of any framework. You take any framework in Python today, even if it's a data science framework, the crux is object-oriented programming. Most of them use inheritance actually. That is what I talk about. And then they use polymorphism also, but mostly it is used inheritance. Even the code that I showed, that was a part of inheritance. So you need to understand all of that, guys. So I'm going to skip some questions for now. I'll take it at the end. I hope I was able to answer some part of your question. Vasant, I know the answer became big, but the reason it is big right now is because I want everybody to understand even other stuff. So I'll quickly go through some facts. So I'm sure you guys are aware why is Python so important. That's why you're here. So it's used in every development. Like I said, it can be done in web development, software development, automating architecture, scripting, scalping, mathematics, you name it, and Python is already there. Most people still think Java is the most used development language, but that's a wrong fact. Just Google it. Python has overtaken Java for I think like 3 years now. Python is everywhere, especially data science. Why do they need Python in data science? It's huge amount of data that they're working with. So Python is very fast. And I'll touch base a little bit things like that, but I won't obviously go in details because then it is a different course altogether. So real quick, Python was founded in 1980s. It was from, I think, Mr. Rosen, Kaidu Van Rosen, I think he's German or Russian, I don't know. But the whole concept, the whole reason he brought this language is very interesting. He, that time C was very much into play, and he could not understand C that well. So he wrote a language that will help him understand C. That's how Python was born. So that's why I tell this is because it becomes very easy. So all he did was he first named it as C Python. And the reason, and you will see this in almost, not almost, but a lot of classes when we do this. I'll show you the internal files also. So like I said, he kind of wrote it as a API or a wrapper for C to understand C better. And because he did that, Python is literally using English language. There's very less syntax and it is more user friendly. So even those shell scripting guys that are here, DevOps guys that are here, if you have any other programming language like C, C++ experience, you will see the syntax is so easy that anybody can understand. And that's why I said, even if it's a fresher, he can understand it very easily. And the other advantages are it works on all platforms, Windows, Mac, Linux, Raspberry Pi, whatever you want to call it. It's very simple, just like English language syntax. You're talking to somebody, hey there, hello world, you just have to use a print and that's it. But I'm not gonna go in all those details. Everybody can do that today. So the other thing that I wanted to tell was, and which is also going to be the focus, that you can write programs in very fewer lines. So now this is again an example how you want to take it. If you're a DevOps guy, I'm sure everybody wants to aim for FANG, right? Facebook, Apple, Netflix, Google, Apple, right? Facebook is now Meta anyways, and Amazon. My personal best is, I mean, I love Amazon. So I read a lot about that company. So if you want to understand that level of coding or that level of automation for DevOps guys, or that level of programming for freshers or somebody who's coming from C, C++ background, or that level of web development, this will really help you because while I'm explaining, I keep saying, hey, an Amazon interviewer would look for this answer. So, excuse me. So the next advantage of Python that I was going to say is basically that you can write programs with very fewer lines of code, which is called code optimization. That is very important. Nobody teaches you because you have to have very experience in any language to understand this. So the code optimization is what Amazon, Google, all these are looking for. And the simple reason is they have huge servers. They cannot manage huge lines of code, and it's not just lines of code. Memory can be easily added, right? You can say, Ankit, if the lines of code are getting higher, you can just simply add memory. But the problem is CPU, the processing power. So I tell you all the solutions, and people who work with me on the assignments, they generally send it to me separately. I even tell them you can shrink your code. Think about it. That's how the initial name that I said, Satya, from the first batch, he used to, not first batch, I think it was from third or fourth batch, he used to ping me all the answers, and he was so thirsty to understand. He had the hunger to learn. He would ping me and say, Ankit, how can I optimize this better? How can I make it better? And that's why you learn and you become a very good Python developer, whether it's automation or it doesn't matter. It's just the language itself that you have to understand. So real quick, for people who would be starting, you will have to be ready and downloading Python. So download Python from python.org. So when you do download Python, Oh, I forgot to say one thing. So for your resume also, you can we will be doing a lot of coding obviously, but I'll also share you the final project code so you can put it in GitHub and you can market yourself. Amazon really loves it that you have your code already. So always go to python.org. Don't go to any other website, guys. Always download from .org websites. Now I have a very quick question. So whenever you click on this, you just get a exe, or if you're a Mac user, you'll get a DMG. But what is a part of this Python software? Does anybody know? Real quick. When you download this Python exe, it has three things. One is Python VM. Second is PIP. This is a utility that you will use in future to um, download further packages or anything like that. It's called PIP. So what is Python VM? It is nothing but where your Python actually runs. So Python automatically gives us a virtual machine. Why, how, you will see when we go into the classes. It's a huge concept. Then pip is a utility that you can use to install it. So all these are there in 3.x version. When they initially came up with 2.x version, you had to download even pip and idle. What is idle? It's just a integrated development learning environment, which is a part of Python shell. So if you just go here and type idle, you'll see something like this. You will see this 3.8 and 32-bit. There's a reason. This is my personal laptop, and I started working on this when it was a 32-bit laptop, but you will see a 64-bit, and always download the 64-bit. Also, always download the community edition softwares, guys. Never download an enterprise. Enterprise is the one which is paid. So when you go to idle, it will bring something like this Python shell. It's hardly of any use when you start working. But one good thing is if you are confused whether you know the syntax or whether you are saying it right, then you can simply come here, write that code and execute it. Simple as that. And this is one program done. Hello world. In C++, it takes at least 4 lines. So that's the beauty of Python, guys. You can simply write the code directly in idle and you can learn it. But we are not going to use it because this is not a tool which will help us save and make our life easier. So we're going to use VS Code. Another fun fact: it is the most widely used. It's called Visual Studio Code. It's from Microsoft, so it's again free version. Please use this software. And this is the fun fact is this is being used by the most developers in the development community. And you'll see in a couple of classes, it's very easy. But Ankit, do you only tell us VS Code? No. So for your resume, I understand you have to write PyCharm and Jupyter also. We can do those as well. It's just a different IDE, the IDE, Integrated Development Environment. That's it. The important question is about the concept. So like I was saying, you get these three things. Now the immediate question that should come to your mind is, Ankit, these are independent softwares, right? Like I showed you. So where are these stored? Do you know? Does anybody know where they're stored? A real quick question, guys. No worries. I'll tell you. So today everything, yeah, go ahead. Somebody was saying
It's PyPy.
PyPy, exactly right, 100% right. So PyPy is nothing but the official cloud website, or you can say this is the cloud where all your Python related stuff is stored. Excellent page. Nobody has ever answered that in a demo. So this is the Python package index. This is where all your softwares are kept. Actual exes, for example. So for any time you want to see any package, always start here. Look for Django, look for the current version or whatever you want to do. It will even tell you how to install it. Just copy it, click on this, go back to your command prompt. Let me show it to you. And I just simply paste it. For me, it will say it was already installed, but you guys can install it. And then also you get a lot about this documentation. This is a documentation that I keep referring that I showed you earlier also. This is the best documentation for any package in future that you should go through and learn from it. All of this is free, like I said, it's a ORG website, so nothing to worry about it. So this is in general, guys. So I think I am going to start showing you the demo. I know we're almost at time, but maybe we'll extend it 10, 20 minutes more. And oh, before I end, I also want to tell you one more thing, and that is, so the tools I already told you, we'll be doing VS Code, then we'll be doing PyCharm, we'll be doing Jupyter or Anaconda, you can say. And for database, my project is on database, so I'll definitely tell you database as well. We're using the most widely used database, which is PostgreSQL. So Django definite by default comes with SQLite, but I'm not using SQLite. It's very simple. Once you understand PostgreSQL, it's even easier. Now you'll ask me, Ankit, are you going to teach database? I am going to teach you how to work with database using Python, because Python is the crux here, right? And it can work with anything. Then probably like a complementary thing, I'll give you some idea about MongoDB. This is very much in demand these days, and actually it's a futuristic product. But anyways, I'll just give you some concepts. And then the whole Django framework. It's a huge framework, guys. It is based on the DRY principle, which I'll tell you. So you don't need to learn any database at all. Django will take care of everything for us. And then some part of Git and all that you anyways know from DevOps. So DevOps also a little bit concepts I'll keep touching about it. So this is kind of the whole stack that you will understand. Of course, Python and Advanced Python, which is oops. And absolutely, again, I'm repeating, you need not have to have any experience in programming. Don't worry about it. That's my job. If you have, it's good. If you don't have, it's perfectly fine. I'll be starting from the very basics. And I'll also share you some books in PDF. There are a lot of books that I can share. It's up to you whether you want to go with them or not. And the project, I forgot about the project. So which I'm going to show you demo also. It is with the DB. So even if you don't want Python web development, you should still do it. Like I said, because you'll understand how does Python work with databases. So what we'll be doing we'll be creating a small website, or you can say mini Amazon version. Or I should not even use Amazon name, SCM, supply chain management version, where you will see like adding products, orders, and all those kind of things. Any questions before I go to the demo? So I just realized, since you asked about DevOps, right, I'll show you something. This is my side thing that I did. So this is a tool called Robo. It's a free tool. It's a very good tool, guys, but it's made on Selenium and over Python. So now I'll show you one kind of a demo also here. So if you want to simply open Amazon, just come here and run this software. How I know the internals of it is because it's all, sorry, it opened in my other page. See, it even says here, Chrome is being controlled by automated test software. My hands are off from keyboard. Everything I'm doing using the script. So it is going to look for MacBook Pro if you wanted to buy. Now it is going to close, but I can actually go ahead and add this, the cheapest one on this page on the cart. I can do the order also, but I don't want to, right? Because you still want to go and see some reviews or anything. And then at the end, it also tells you the details. So my point here is once you understand Python, it's limitless, guys, endless, whatever you can do. These kind of softwares will become so easy, and Selenium and this has a lot of market in automation, so you can learn these automatic. And this was PyCharm, by the way. The code was written in PyCharm, so you can do that. Let me give you a very simple one. So let's just open Amazon and it will automatically close Amazon. Okay, again it opened there. You can see Chrome is being controlled by automated test software. You can do this on Google, Internet Explorer, Firefox, whatever you want to do. I'm not doing anything, it automatically got closed. So you can do so many things once you understand the basic concepts. Okay, I have less time, so I'm going to show you the actual project that we're going to do as a demo. So this is my Django framework, guys, but this is the ID is VS Code. That is what I'm going to use every day. But I'm just showing you so you don't understand any of this code right now. But once you finish the course, you will be fluent in this. What is this? Is this a dictionary? What is this? This is a dictionary with tuples. Why is this tuple with only two values? All this becomes very, very easy. And the whole concept of DRY and the MBT principle, you will understand here. So let's go ahead. This is the command that you use to run your server for your website. And right now I'm hosting it on my laptop, but you can tomorrow host it in Amazon EC2 instance or Azure or wherever you want to use, or Google Cloud also. So that's why I said this is my loopback IP, which is nothing but my laptop. So let me click here. So I go back here. So this is something like you can put all these show everything right from the scratch, guys. Even the admin functionality, because that's where you're going to add products, and then you're going to see. So this is all customized, but I'll show you right from the scratch how Django will help us in writing this stuff. So I created these two, like I was showing you the corresponding class for product, because in Amazon you need products, right? So I can just go ahead and add a product here. I'll show you all these, how step by step we'll do it, how these can be added. Like for example, this CA key, this description box is a CA key editor. So it's an external third party tool. We just added it in the batch that I'm doing right now. The batch is almost about to finish. So we're doing the project right now. So because if you go with the Django description box, it's not like this. It's a very simple box. So we changed it and we added CAK editor. So we just don't do Django. We keep changing every batch. So this batch I added Bootstrap also. Let me show you the code. So it's actually, yeah, this is the project folder where I am right now with the class. So we added all the Bootstrap stuff also. This is like an additional thing. You learn something new. So if you look, we are actually working on the products there. But in my demo, it's a different one, which is this. So here you will see, this is a demo one. Come on, move. Yeah, this is a demo one. Templates. Yeah, this here you'll see some Bootstrap code as well as uh, a lot extra stuff. So let me quickly go ahead. So this is how you add that copyright symbol. So simple piece of code, but I'll show you all of this. Where is my website? Yeah, here you go. So now let's add a new product. So before that, I want to show you my database also so that you can see we'll be adding data live in the database. So this is the utility pgadmin that helps us. It's a GUI format basically. I don't like the CLI version. So it's GUI for connecting to PostgreSQL. I tell you how to connect this, how to do all these things in very simple ways. So this is my databases, all the databases that I've created so far. So this is January 2022 batch is right now there. So that's theirs. This is what I am going to show you here. So this is my product table. Let me click here and show you all the rows. Yeah, so not this one, sorry, my bad. This is another database. Oh, maybe I deleted it actually, so it's that one only. So yeah, this is the database, this is how you run the query. Look at this. So the last row is number 5 and it is saying this one. Let's go back and add a product. All right, here you go. So something like a serial number, right? 2356. I'm going to say a bike because I love bikes. Okay, let's use sports bikes. I'm gonna say Yamaha R1. I have an R1 and M109R. So look at this. This is automatically typing, right? With and for space, it is automatically converting into dash. This is the slugs. This is a very important concept in SEO. Google uses it. So if you go to any website, let's say Times of India, any news website, they use this. So if you're tomorrow, if you're doing it for blogging, right? You don't have to use this Django for only Amazon. You can do it for blogging also, anything like that. So let's say you click on this. You see this? This dashes everywhere. The space in between is converted with dashes. I bet nobody knew this, right? So look at this. This is nothing but slugs. Why it is added? It's a huge concept for SEO. Basically, this tells that this piece is important, time sensitive, because your top news is time sensitive, right? Tomorrow it's gone. So what is the point of it? So for that, you're going to, so I am just showing it to you. Obviously here it is not important, but you should understand the concept. So this is, I'll show you how this slug is added automatically. This helps in SEO and optimization. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Vendor is, so these are all mandatory. This is showing as gray, right? So I'll show you how you do that. It's just grayed out means it's not mandatory. Then publish or draft, anything you can say. This is a super bike. And then you can probably do all this. bold and underline. All these you cannot do with Django's text description. So I added a third-party tool which is called CA Key Editor with Django. That is the beauty of Django, guys. It works with every. Oh, sorry, I forgot to add the. So it's added, but I forgot to add the picture. So let's go ahead here. And this is me, by the way, on my bike. This was my other bike. Let's just add this bike. Okay, let me go back here, see if the image was added. It does add it. Now, the thing is, how is it and where is it? So let's go to the products page of the website. Pro-products. You can see, I mean, the pictures are not very clear, but I'll show you all those. So this is my other one that I'd already added. And this got distorted. But anyways, this is the one that I just added, Yamaha R1 and M109R. Let's go back to this one. And I think this may not be the correct one. Yeah, it's right there. See that? It got added. This is the database. So everything works together. The database, the framework, the Python. Python is an ORM tool. It works with databases and everything. So this piece of code is actually what is doing the whole thing. And it's very simple. Let me go back to the admin page. This is the beauty of Django, guys. It can change the way you can work with anything. So it's not admin, it's admin. So can I change this page? Absolutely, you can. Just simple setting, go to settings, and no, it's actually URLs. In here, you can simply say Ankit. Obviously, it's not recommended, but just to show you. Then you do the Control S, automatically picks up. See, it's showing the same page. Will it show the same page now with admin? It won't. So if you wanted to give a username for Ankit to be an admin, this is how you will do it. It's simple, one simple changes that will completely change your life. Real quick, I'll show you if I wanted to change the, where is it? Yeah, change the language. So unfortunately, I cannot show it in Hindi, but I think it's for Germany. I think it's DE or something. Even I forget that. But anyways, you can change the time from here. So it's right now in India time, Asia, Calcutta, as you can see. Let me see if it shows up here. Yeah, see, you're 5 hours behind at server time because I'm in the Eastern zone, and this always looks from the zone that you select here. So basically it's looking from the UTC. So the Asia time is 5 hours behind UTC. UTC is a standard time. So all these things you can change. You can simply put it to UTC and this will change. I refresh it. Didn't refresh. Nope. I changed it in the wrong one. Sorry. This is where my other batch is doing. So here it is. Okay, it's already in UTC. So let's change this one to Asia Calcutta. So when you do a control S, it automatically detects it. If there's any error, it will show you there. So now it will show me however behind I am from what happened. Okay. 1 second, guys. It's doing now. Yeah, there you go. See, you're 10.5 hours behind server time. It's very simple changes, actually. It's really, you know, the simplest way to understand any framework is what I'm trying to say. It's so intuitive. You can learn it by, you know, just simply spending some time on it. But the main thing is you need to understand the object-oriented programming language very nicely. If you don't, then, you know, it's of no use. So I hope, and of course, you don't have to worry. I'll show you everything from scratch. We'll start from the very first thing. Even I'll show you the DB SQLite 3 part, how it works, and whether we want to use it or not, that's a different thing. So basically, going forward. Yeah, I'm just about to open it for questions. Actually, let's hear some questions. I was just looking for that. Let me just do one more thing. So yeah, this is what I was trying to change. This is in EN US right now. Let's do Espanol, I think. That's for Spanish. So that's the beauty of Django, guys. Your whole website right away, just by that simple change, would convert to Spanish. See this? Whatever this is. I mean, I can't read Spanish, but if you know, that's how it is. Simply going back, you can change it to Germany. I think it's DEAT, Denmark, something like that. I'm guessing. I think they will soon be coming for this one also, India version in Hindi or something. Yeah, see, it even Google also tells you it's in German now, no more in English. So these are very simple things that you can do because Django is such a huge framework. Again, Django is used in Instagram. Most of it Instagram, not most completely, Instagram is built on Django and Matplotlib. Only two things. So that in a nutshell is just to show you that you would be able to understand all these things very easily. Okay, now I'll open for questions, guys. Any questions that you have? You can unmute or you can put it in chat, whatever you feel like.
Ankit, am I audible?
Yeah, you are. Go ahead, Bharat.
Yeah, Bharat here. So, will you be covering APIs? I mean, I'm not sure whether it is related here, but just asking how to create
Yeah,
and use APIs.
very good question. So whenever you use a framework, so Django is a part of, so this is the part that I was saying about APIs. Absolutely. And that's your question actually goes back to the thing that I was saying. If you understand one framework, then it is so easy. You understand how the APIs are, and then you can just plug in any framework and then you can go from there. So yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Somebody is asking on the chat, Dayanand has asked, after the class, how many hours of practice? Dayanand, it's completely on everybody's thing, right? How much time you need. I can't say for you. So some people don't even look at it. They are so good in the class, they understand in the class itself. Some people might be spending 30 minutes, but yes, you should be doing all your assignments if you want to understand it very clearly and thoroughly. So I would say maybe half an hour to 1 hour. And Shekhar, you're welcome. So Venkat is asking, suggest me whether I should join with Django or not. Again, it's completely on to you, Venkat. Like I tried to explain, if you join with Django, also that would be good. But if you don't want to join with Django, the fee structure is different. So feel free to do that. Django will definitely help, but if it will help a lot in DevOps or not, I can't say that for sure. But it's up to you whether you want to learn new packages like Paramita and all those things. Then I think you should do both. Bharat, you have another question. Is that already answered? I'm guessing that's why you didn't ask that question. Oh, he's already saying please ignore. Okay. We did POC in hackathon. Would like to be a developer in complete project. Perfect. So Shrikant, it's just whatever you say. I want to be an engineer and into development. This is a perfect course for you, my friend. And okay, cover it here. Sure.
Ankit, do we need an HTML background or HTML?
No. Excellent question. Excellent question. So only he understood that I was using some HTML code. But excellent question. So you don't need, that's the beauty of Django, guys. You don't need to know anything. Yeah, go ahead.
I use Python for the basic reporting purpose, where we create some reports and like we pull the reports using API and send it in email.
Right,
So
right.
we some HTML tags over there. So do we really need any
No,
Django?
not really, but I'll show you what these are so you can get a good understanding of how it works with. So you can, so this is just an example, right? That you can use HTML or anything like that to work with Django, but it's completely optional. So yes, you can and you cannot. If you want to learn, you can, but if you don't want to learn, you don't have to. That's the thing. Kiran will share the recorded video after the demo. Yes, Shravani has already responded. What would be the class timings? I'm glad Vasant asked. So as of now, the class timings are scheduled like this. Let me open a notepad because I always get confused with the India time and US time. So if you are from the US time zone, then it is EST 9 p.m. Monday to Thursday. Okay. If you are in India time zone, which is EST, then it's 7:30 a.m. Tuesday to Friday. And we do have occasionally weekend classes also. That's like extra classes I take. So that goes like at least 2 hours. But these are all 1 hour, but they almost always end up at 120, 1.5 hours. So this is the timings, guys. And we'll be doing, like I said, 30 to 40, depending on, I should say 35 to 40 classes, depending on the overall people who finally join, and everybody's pace would be according to everybody's thing. I'm from embedded background. This course will be helpful for Python. Oh, absolutely. If you want, this is my favorite guy. His name is admin, although I don't know why. So he's asking me, is this good for machine learning? So guys, machine learning specifically, I love machine learning, AI and ML. I do a separate thing for that also. But anyways, to understand anything in machine learning, so basically we're talking about NumPy, SciPy, all these Matplotlib. All these are very, very advanced packages. So to understand this, Python is the minimum that you should know. And whatever I'm going to teach you, that's very advanced, and you should know all of it if you want to get into data science. So any ML, AI related things, this course is going to help you a lot, definitely. Okay, that was the end of question. I hope I have not missed anybody's questions. It's already 15, 20 minutes over. If anybody still
Hi
has a
Ankit, I'm
question,
Santosh. I just have one question.
go ahead. Go ahead, Santosh.
Uh, how good is this with respect to database programming and solving the complex queries in databases? Would this be helpful, or is it just with respect to Python and connecting to databases and working with Python itself, exclusive or explicitly with Python?
So, good question. I'll answer it in two parts. If you want to be a database admin guy, or if you want, or if you're already a database administrator and you want to continue that, then this is not, because we are not solving database problems. But the second part is, if you want to
Okay.
solve database problems with automation, if you want to solve database problems with programming, then this is perfect, because I will show you how do we connect to our database, how do we establish the connection, how do you write the queries, how do you create tables, everything I'll show you, but not a database program, if that is a question.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Sure. I can take one more
Ankit,
question, maybe. Yeah, go ahead. Yep. I think we lost the person who said. Okay, got no, that's an old question. Yeah. Okay. Anybody else, guys? Maybe one more
Ankit,
question.
one question.
Yeah, go ahead, Bharat.
So Ankit, like I think you answered, but still, uh, for it seems I'm a GCP engineer. Okay, so for me, only scripting is required. So if I'm learning this course, is it like I know like you already said, learning this
Mhm.
application programming in Django will certainly help for
Yeah.
understanding scripting. But instead, should I go for scripting course straight away, or is it like only if I learn this, that will be easier?
So, we have an interesting question. So, it's not just with GCP or any EC2, or I'll answer it in general form. I understand you asked for GCP, but it doesn't matter which cloud partner you're working with. So, like I was telling about the project that I did, right? So, I can't give a lot of details, but I'll tell you a similar thing. So, I have a different background altogether, but there was this problem that, we were constantly facing. So, I work for Oracle, we have our own cloud, right? So we were not able to do a lot of automation stuff with one particular tool. We were, but that was a huge, heavy, costly tool. It was like 100,000 license every year. So I just looked at the APIs that whatever they gave us, and I said to myself, "Hey man, this is so simple to do in Python. Let's take it as a project." So me and one more person, we did it as a team. I asked for the a person actually to help me, and we finished the whole tool in 1 month. The whole tool does exactly what you're saying. It will log in, it will do SNMP, it will do all the scripting stuff that you do on the cloud platform. Obviously not for GCP, because those are our competitors. We use Oracle, and we are saving 100,000 every year for a company. Actually, now that you brought it, I should say that is the one that got me the promotion from architect to senior architect. And right now, I am the only one in my whole organization who holds that position. So you have to be creative, is my point. it's endless, my friend. If you're looking for, that, hey, Ankit, can you tell me how do I do the script? Then it becomes very, very particular to one thing. Then you don't understand the rest of the things. So that's what I'm saying. If you want to pursue anything in automation or scripting, first step is you need to understand how Python works. And for scripting, guys, I can tell you, or automation or DevOps, guys, this will make your life a lot easier. But if you're looking for machine learning or something, you still have to do a lot more stuff, because Python is good, but other than Python, you should know maths very strongly and stuff like that. But DevOps and other people don't have to worry. Your automation will become a lot easier for you. I hope I've answered your
Exactly.
question now, Basant. Oh,
Yes,
sorry.
thanks, Ankit.
Bharat. Yeah. All right, guys. I think we've gone way over time, but thank you so much. And I appreciate all of you coming, and I appreciate all of your time. If you are interested to enroll or maybe take a few more classes, talk to Mithun Technologies as they deal with everything. If you still have any questions for me, pass on your questions to them and they will let me know. And maybe I can sync up or I can talk to you separately also. That's not a problem. All right, guys. Take care and have a good rest of your weekend. Bye for now.